Santa Claus is coming to town. Santa Claus is coming to town.
Hello, my friends! Oh, it's so good to see you again. For some of us, it's been quite a while. Haha. Oh, I brought my bells. Oh, who's wearing Santa's favorite color of red? Of course. Oh. Red, my favorite color. And I know. As you see, I brought my bells. Did you ring your bells? Your little cell phones. Take them out right now. Take out your cell phones. I don't want you to turn them off. No, I want you to take pictures. Come on. It's Christmas. Let's take pictures. Would anyone like for Santa Claus to leave a message for somebody? It's available. But now, if I put my bells away, I want you to put your bells away now. And tonight, I'm going to give you a chance that you as sophisticated New Yorkers never get a chance to do. To become down-home Southern holy rollers.
All right.
I just want you to practice with an I believe. Give me an I believe! No, none of that. I believe for every drop of rain that falls. No. I want an I believe! I believe! I want to hear it. I believe!
I believe! I believe!
Yes! That's the spirit. And now, may the spirit of the holidays live in your heart all year long. Some say that every against that season comes, wherein our Savior's birth is celebrated. The bird of dawning singeth all night long. And then they say, no spirit dare stir abroad. No fairy takes, no witch hath power to charm. So hallowed and so gracious is the time. Unless you work at Macy's, or Saks, or Bloomingdale's, in Shadowland at Christmas time. I know. I did it. We're over 25 years. And live to laugh and joke about it. Why did I do it? How did I? Why? Simple. I love the sound of screaming kids. A dozen babies all crying at the same time, the lullaby of Santaland. What? You call that crying kid? Come on, let it out! Let her wail! That's the spirit. Silly. I love silly. Silly's good. If you can't be silly in Santaland at Christmas time, when can you be silly? But how did I get so silly? I'm a kid in Tulsa, Oklahoma. By some miracle, and despite the lack of great finances, Christmas in our house was always a wonderland. Stockings with our names on them that decorated the fireplace. Oh, the tree. Oh, the tree, a real tree with fragrance of special aroma. That tree that you decked with icicles and ornaments of every shape and kind, ornaments with their own special story, their own special history. And lights. Lights that bubbled, lights that twinkled. Oh. Christmas time in Tulsa Town, the annual downtown holiday parade, and Santa Claus. Oh, Santa Claus. No, the real Santa Claus was always at Vandiver's department store. But Santa had helpers. And Santa is magic. You never know when you're going to get the real one. Well, my mother had to buy an appliance. It was only sold at Sears. So we take lots of buses and taxis way across town. And I think I'm in kindergarten at the time. And Sears just happened to have a Santa. Nothing great, what do you expect from Sears? But my mother and the salesman are talking. It's closing time. And Santa leaves his throne, goes to the men's room. I follow. I behold something, oh, so forbidden. First, he removes the hat, then the wig, and the beard, and the suit, and the tummy.
Santa. Santa.
Santa wears light blue boxer shorts.
Ah.
Well, the guy sees me, grabs his pants, rushes out of the men's room, apologizes to my mother. He shouldn't have been that upset. He was a terrible Santa. But that night, my mother and I have to talk. The one that she has so long avoided. So, what do you think you saw today? Santa Claus in his underwear. Oh, and was that the real Santa? I don't know. Who do you think Santa really is? Then out of nowhere, out of the blue, Santa Claus. Santa Claus is love. That's the story I told when I applied for the job at Macy's. Got the job. But how did I get there? I am the ultimate baby boomer. I was finishing my master's in theater when I received an invitation from Richard Milhouse Nixon to win the hearts and minds of the Vietnamese. Well, the Army sent me to Washington, D.C., where I keep Georgetown safer than Viet Cong. And at theater at night, when my tour duty's over, I go straight to New York City and wind up naked on Broadway in that all-naked, nudie, naughty, notorious musical, Oh, Calcutta. Oh, ho, Calcutta. Now, a friend of mine, tells me that he is playing Santa Claus at Macy's. Invites me to come and look. I do. I behold 6 Santas. 6 Santas at the same time. 6 Santas in 6 little houses, beautiful little houses. 6 Santas in a long dressing room where a professional Broadway dresser places them in plush, tailored Santa suits. Oh, designer boots, a beard that is curled and coiffed every night. I want to be a part of it, have to be a part of it. Want to roll like King Lear, or Falstaff, or Prospero. Santa Claus, one of the great acting roles of all time, if it's done right. The next year, next season, I am naked on Broadway in Old Calcutta at night. But by day, I am the miracle on 34th Street. Edmund Gwynn, eat your heart out. Santa Scott in the house. House number 6, number 4, house number 3. Macy's, we're a part of your life. Macy's, at the time, had, without a doubt, the greatest Santa training program in the world. You go for a solid week of training. You learn the rules. Rule number 1. Santa never says, ho, ho, ho. Ho, 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 then no, no, no. It scares the kids. They're going to be scared enough already. Ho, ho, ho. Nah. If you're going to laugh, it's going to sound real. But ho, ho, ho. What am I, the Jolly Green Giant? Ho, ho. Nobody knows where it came from. Certainly not the night before Christmas. Bad enough they have Santa smoking. The smoke encircled his head like a wreath. I didn't inhale. And my reindeer never ran over anybody's grandma. And I'm nobody's ho. Ho, ho. Don't say maybe corporate. Secondly, never, ever, ever promise a kid anything. Santa will do the best he can to create a glorious, magic-filled holiday for you. And third, never refer to anybody as mommy or daddy. You don't know. Might be daddy and grandma, or mommy and Uncle Bob. You don't know. And Santa knows. You know, he sees you when you're sleeping, knows when you're awake, he knows if you've been bad or good. How does he know? The elves. The elves. The masters of surveillance. Oh, no. Oh, I call them my Santanistas. Now, at Macy's, each of the elves had to adopt some cutesy-poo embarrassing elf name, like Twinkle Bum or Mistletoe. Think about it. What would your name, your elf name be, huh? What would your elf name? Come on, shout it out. Let me hear your elf name. Oh, you're that embarrassed. Oh, yes. So, Elf Jingle Ball brings a kid in. He whispers to you his name and any other pertinent information. So, you say, "Ah, it's my old friends Jack and Olivia." Those are the two big names for the kids last year, Jack and Olivia. Olivia, leading character in a play by William Shakespeare called Twelfth Night, about this time of year. And let the babbling gossip of the air cry out, Olivia has had visions of Mark Rylance. Oh, and the kid is named Virginia. Forget it. Yes, Virginia. There is a Santa Claus. You make her an honorary elf. Musical theater ritual. Like me playing on the show. Yeah. Corporate suits come back.
Scott. Scott, we love what you're doing. You're brilliant. But Scott, the Tony Committee isn't coming by today.
Oh. I think they are. Every kid who comes to my house is the Tony Committee. Oh no. Parents would see kids coming out of my house laughing and yelling and screaming and singing, carrying on, and wonder why their kid hadn't gotten the same treatment. So they would have to stop the entire operation, shut everything down, say to the kids, now, you met one of Santa's helpers. Now, you're going to meet the real Santa. And this happened several times. Several times a day. At Macy's, I learned to sign for the hearing impaired. Merry Christmas. Happy New Year. I love you. And if a child was visually impaired, well, you let him ring the bells. You let him play with the band. Now, Jewish kids very often get left out at this time of the year. Not with Santa Scott, they don't. We sing the songs, dreidel, 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 I made it out of clay. Hey! Hey! If it weren't for a Jewish kid, we wouldn't even be celebrating!
All right. Here for the Jewish kids.
Mazel tov. But you learn to cold read the kids. Like, just by looking at a child's teeth, the baby teeth, missing teeth, teeth going back, I could tell the age. Or, if I saw a little girl with her hair all done up in a classic ballet do, I said, ah, and how's the dancing coming along? Are you going to be performing in the Nutcracker again this year? And speaking of nutcrackers, they were the parents. The ones who violently throw the kid into your lap and wonder why the kid was crying. She never cries. Well, I finally learned how to deal with crying kids. For the pictures in it, you tell them, well, you can get in the picture and hold the child, or we can all get in here together and have a fine holiday family portrait. Or there's another option. The classic holiday photo. You know the one. Complete with opera. Oh, I love the opera. You hold the child, you feel the diaphragm drop, the lower ribs expand. The kid lets out with a wail that can be heard from here to Hoboken. That's the spirit! What a singer! Does a Metropolitan Opera know about you? Ah, you get a great picture, the parents love it, and the kid's very, very, very young. What's his first time? When I've held some, they were only 6 days old. You say, my friend, my name is Santa Claus, and I am the spirit of all that's good and wonderful and magical and silly about this holiday season. Oh, and you and I are going to be the very dearest of friends. This is just the beginning, my friend. Just the beginning. We are going to spend so many glorious holidays together. And now I have for you your very first present ever from the one, only, the real Santa Claus. Then you give the child a present. Now at Bloomingdale's, for years they had coloring books with crayons that would go right into the kid's mouth. Macy's and Saks, they had badges with, that said, I saw Santa at Macy's, I saw Santa at Saks, with sharp stick pins, right into the kid's mouth. Parents love that. Now, one day, Bloomies ran out of coloring books, so they bring in little tiny vials of soap bubbles. Bubbles in Bloomingdale's. But problem was you open the top, liquid spills out all over everything. So I would say to the kids, now, don't open it here. Wait until you get to Lord and Taylor's. Bloomingdale's ran out of those. So they rush out and bring in from some novelty company. Well, mixed in with all the little bendable reindeer, you have holiday whoopee cushions. Oh, the kids loved it. I loved it. Along with the holiday background vocals of Johnny Mathis. There'll be scatty ghost stories and tales of the glories of Christmases long, long ago. But Macy's, where you wait in line for 2 hours for a 30-second visit with Santa. The motto at Macy's is get 'em in, get the picture, get 'em out. Well, we thought you could handle it when we hired you. Well, I handled it into a second season. And that was the year. Well, a very well-dressed man brings his 5-year-old daughter, throws her onto my lap. She runs away, throws her on again, she runs away again. Gets her and says, get up there. I said, get up, get, you love Santa, goddammit! You think that one's bad? Little boy, 7, couldn't have been a day over 8. His parents informed the elf that he's not getting anything for Christmas since he's failing math. And guess who gets the honor of telling him? I will have no part of this. So they bring the kid in, we're talking, and the parents nudge the elf. Now, what about that math? So I start rattling off 8 tiny reindeers, 7 dwarves, 9 Supreme Court justices, anything to avoid this. Parents nudge the elf again. What about that math? Well, so, my friend, having trouble in the math department, are we? Well, don't worry about it. You'll never use it anyway. Ha! I'm called back to start my 3rd season at Macy's. I get a call to go to the corporate offices where I meet Cynthia. Hi, my name's Cynthia. Call me Sin. Mr. Baker, we think that your work is exemplary. Always on time, wonderful at the job, a real team player. Now, Mr. Baker, we were aware that you were in Calcutta. And that's fine. However, Mr. Baker, we were not aware of some of your other activities, your television and film activities. Oh, no. Oh, no. You see, the day before, I had appeared on the Phil Donahue show. The subject, men who take off their clothes for a living. Da 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 da. You know, the Broadway show Oh Calcutta. Let's face it, no one has ever given them a Tony for their costumes. Here's one of the stars of that show. Also stars on Electric Blue on the Playboy Channel. Welcome, Scott Baker. Da, 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 da. Every time they come to a close-up of me, words pop up under my face. The words, adult film star. Okay. I didn't mention Macy's or Santa. Who's going to recognize me under a beard and a 300-pound suit? Some 4-year-old watching the Playboy Channel at 2 a.m.? Macy's, no more part of your life, Mr. Baker. I made more money one day on the Phil Donahue show than I would have made the entire season at Macy's. Oh, Calcutta wanted to do a big story. The man too sexy to be Santa. I said, no. No. Okay. It's Christmas. Let there be peace on earth. And let it begin with me. Macy's gives Santa the axe. Kris Kringle takes his axe to Saks. Saks, Fifth Avenue. Oh, across the street from St. Patrick's Cathedral. The ringing of the bells alone will put you into the spirit. And that's where the spirit ends. Bad suits, bad boots, bad beards. Oh, bad stuff. I saw better Santa suits at the pub walk the other day. Santa training, non-existent. They actually asked me to bring in a pillow. The other Santa there, the worst Santa I have ever seen. I knew him from a year before when I was performing at the American Theater of Magic on Herald Center. And he was their so-called excuse for a Santa. His name was Luke. His qualifications for the job, he was fat. And that's where it ended. Even wore a badge that said, "You need a fat man." Would sit in the chair going, ho, 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 ho. Not relating to the parents, the kids. Would remove the hat, the wig and the beard, go upstairs to the food court, and have lunch in his Santa suit in front of the parents and kids who had just seen him as Santa. Not the brightest bulb on the Christmas tree. Clueless. I get to Saks, he's the first one I see. Well, one morning, I get a call from Saks. Lou can't find his beard. Can he borrow yours? At the end of the day, those beards are a collection of perspiration, spittle, mucus, bodily fluids. Why didn't they just ask if he could borrow a condom and give it back? He gets the beard, I get a skin rash. But in spite of all this, I bring in my own boots. My own white gloves that I change twice a day. And I get a rave review from the New York Times. They call me New York City's best Santa. They call me warm and avuncular. Well, Luke just disappears. Sachs sends me out to corporate parties. I'm a hit. Now, one of these parties, they give me a stack of holiday cookies. Now, what am I going to do with it? I can't eat them through the beard. So I'm walking back. Late at night, back to Sachs in the Santa suit, when I see a homeless man. You're the real Santa. Yeah, give me something to eat. Oh, well, perhaps you'd like these nice holiday cookies, my friend. Ah! That's the real Santa! That's the real Santa! Betty Ford comes to visit Santa at Sachs. I thank her for all she's done for the 12 steps of Christmas. One night, two African-American teenagers come by, they talk, and one says together, "Yo, see? Santa's black. I told you he was black." Well, then, Sachs. It's large groups of school kids. That's when I go into my psychic televangelist act. I want you to see, really see, envision what you want for Christmas. And by the powers given only unto Santa by the spirits of the great north, under the sign of the Aurora Borealis, Santa will see. I see a doll, a very pretty doll. I hear a name, and the name, Barbie. Did anyone ask for Barbie? The magic is working! Oh. A train. I see a train. A train. Anyone ask for Thomas the Train? Or Legos? I can't bring you that. Shame on you. I want you to know. Just say it. I believe.
I believe.
I want you to, I believe!
I believe! I believe!
I believe in Dasher, Dancer, Prancer, Vixen, Comet, Cupid, Donner, and Blitzen. And you recall the most famous reindeer of all. What was his name? Oh, yes. And I go into a rousing chorus of Rudolph. But then we come to my solo. Rudolph, magnificent creature that you are, with your shining red protuberance, won't you guide my sleigh tonight? Oh, please, make all the children of the world happy. Oh, thank you, Rudolph. Thank you. Then how the reindeer loved him, and they shouted out with glee,
Rudolph the red-nosed reindeer.
"Stop the music! Stop the music! You call that shouting out? With glee? Come on, make the children of the world happy. Save Christmas for the children." Then how the reindeer
loved him, and they shouted out with glee.
Shout it out!
Rudolph the red-nosed reindeer, you'll go down in history.
Oh, give yourselves a hand for such fine singing. gets a hand, I get a notice from corporate. No more singing. No more laughter. No more singing. No more laughter. No more Santa at Saks. Well, they can't be Santa. I become Scrooge. I play Scrooge in regional theater. If I could write my will, every idiot who goes about with Merry Christmas on his lips would be boiled in his own pudding and buried with a stake of holly through his heart. And then, the ghost of Christmas yet to come makes me, for 11 seasons, Santa at Bloomingdale's. Bloomingdale's, like no other store in the world, like no other Santa land in the world. Giant dolls that stare at you demonically, like something out of a horror picture. Children of the Corn Village of the Damned, beware the stare in Santa Land. And some of the strangest Santas you ever saw. Like my friend Nick. I love Nick. Worked with Nick for 4 years. Nick was deaf as a post. Promised kids anything they wanted as the parents recoiled in horror. Always referred to people as mommy and daddy, always got it wrong. And when it came time to take the picture, always had his eyes closed. You told him about it, he became furious. Then there was Tevye. We called him Tevye because, well, he was like something out of a bad road company version of Fiddler on the Roof. So, did you have a nice Thanksgiving? But, and you didn't invite me? Terrible, terrible! Now this is cute. A day or two after Thanksgiving, but not 2 days before Christmas. And you think some of the Santas are weird? Wait till you meet some of the weird elves. The elves who take the pictures, who control traffic. I have seen elf meltdown. But do you recall the weirdest, strangest elf of all? Her name was Carol. She seemed normal enough during the orientation, but a day into the job, I knew that something was wrong. Oh, so terribly wrong. She would duck and run whenever people would meet her. Well, you see, she was being chased by the Kennedys. JFK, who was still alive, and she knew where he was. Bobby, Teddy, and all the kids, and their wives, all wanted her murdered like Marilyn. You didn't dare leave Elf Carol alone. One day, we're taking our New York State law required lunch. 1 hour. So, we leave. Somebody leaves Carol in charge. We've been gone 1 minute. Welcome to the North Pole. Welcome to the North Pole. Santa's feeding the reindeer. He'll be back in 10 minutes. An hour later when we get back, the parents are starting to riot. Oh, forget the Kennedys. We wanted to kill her. But I had to know that this Kennedy stuff. So I asked her. Yes, they all live in this big house on Long Island. The Kennedys and the Bouviers. And... Oh, you mean like Grey Gardens? No, that's the Chinese restaurant they all go to. Why was she there? To test us? Like we're not tested enough already. When I say tested, I mean tested. You're not the real Santa. Well, you're not the real Henry. I know the real Henry. You're an imposter. You're one of Henry's helpers. Pull Santa's beard. Pull it real hard. Ah! You who did void your ruin upon my beard. If you pull my beard, do I not yell? Huh? I don't believe it. Then go away. Get out of here. Don't have time for non-believers. Depart. I banish you from my kingdom. Depart now, never to return. God, I love playing royalty. English kids know all about royalty. Now, there's this kid from London named Hank who had wanted a remote control car. Well, over in London, you'll have to drive it on the other side of the street. All right. Or maybe I could just have the remote in my right hand. A year later, Hank and his mother return. Now he's getting a little older, beginning to wonder about Santa, and according to his mother, wondering if this is the real one, if Santa remembers him. I take a risk here. Hank, my dear friend, did you enjoy that remote control car I got you last year? Hank jumps up and down, the mother falls over crying. I have to get her tissues. Ah, and there's little Violet. Little Violet who wanted a pig. She got a dog. I watched Violet grow into a beautiful young woman. Like so many others, who would come back year after year for a certain kind of silly sing-along with Santa from all around the world. Flambeau, Jeannette Isabelle, O Tannenbaum, wie dreisten dein nicht belehrt. One German lady drove us crazy. Hated every picture we took of her kid. We went on for 20, 30 minutes. Finally she says, yeah, do you think that for the next picture, you could have my baby going down on Santa? You want your baby going down on Santa? Yeah, you know what I mean. Now, tourists, I love tourists. They always come to see the Radio City Music Hall show and to see a Broadway musical. One day, quite by accident, I said to two good old gals from Georgia, so enjoy the Rockettes and enjoy Clitty Clitty Gang Bang. They loved it.
Oh!
That's what I like about the South. Women come on to Santa. Santa baby, put a present under the tree for me. Oh, Santa, I've been so bad this year. If you'd like to tell Santa all about it, slowly. Cheapest therapy in New York. You know, kids love dogs, and they always ask for dogs. Now, I say, you know with dogs come responsibility. They can't pick up after themselves, have terrible table manners, and must be bathed frequently. Actually, I say the same thing to women who ask for boyfriends. With boyfriends come responsibility. They can't pick up after themselves. They have terrible table manners and must be bathed frequently. But the saddest request. Take time and again, one season, when mothers and wives would ask Santa Claus for armor for their husbands and sons who were serving in Iraq, because they weren't getting it anywhere else. Merry Christmas. Every kid is a celebrity, but we get some older celebrities, more better known celebrities. Goldie Hawn was always great, wonderful with her kids, never expected any special treatment. Same thing with Deborah Winger. Now, talk show host Sally Jesse Raphael every year would bring her grandkids, not knowing that as a Coney Island sideshow performer, I had been given the dubious honor of being awarded most outrageous act ever to perform on the Sally Jesse Raphael show. But one day, we are told to get there an hour early. Special celebrity, top secret. So we get there an hour early. We look out, as far as you can look. The corporate heads and security guards lined up for blocks. God, it's the Obamas, or the Clintons, or maybe a Kennedy. That wouldn't make Carol happy. Security parts like the Red Sea. The celebrity emerges, and it's Jessica Simpson. Oh, the one caught moving her lips to the song on Saturday Night Live. Oh, he thought the baby was crying, but he was just lip syncing. Celebrity Santa gets invited. I get a call from the David Letterman show to perform the entire top 10 list. The subject, ways you know you've hired a bad department store Santa. My favorites. Lectures each child on the wonders of Scientology. Instead of saying, ho, 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 he's muttering something about jihad. The suit is more orange than red and reads Auburn Correctional Facility. Tries to snort the fake snow. And the number one reason that you know you've hired a bad department store Santa tells which kids he thinks will be gay. There I am, on the stage of the Ed Sullivan Theater where Elvis stood, and the Beatles, and Senor Wences. Okay, it's all right. But it wasn't all right. It wasn't all right for me the day that I hit the wall. Marathon runners know what I'm talking about. One day I'm very sick. It's a blizzard outside. You get sick at this job with all the kids coughing into your face with it. I look out into a sea of daddies and little girls. And each little girl in this long line looks exactly alike. Each one is 4 years old, has the same blonde hair, the same blue eyes, wears the same little pink dress. And I know I have been kringled.
Ah.
Another snowy afternoon. It was a Friday. We hear about the children who've just been murdered in Newtown, Connecticut. That afternoon, a kid that came to me, I would hold just a little more lovingly, a little closer. Look into that child's eyes and weep. What gets me through it? Well, letters like this. Send to the corporate heads, Bloomingdale's, send to public relations. Today, December 12th at 12:15, I tell the date and time in case you have a few Santas. I brought my 7-month-old daughter to see Santa Claus on the 8th floor of the 59th Street Bloomingdale's. My experience was more than I could have ever dreamed. He understood. She needed to slowly warm up to him. He came down from his chair and spoke lovingly about who he was and all the splendor of Christmas. He sat down then and engaged her. She ended up actually going to him. She sometimes won't even go to her own father. He stayed in character the whole time. He had such lovely things to say. He was so calm and engaging. Truly, you have found the ultimate Santa. I'm already looking forward to going back next year. Well, welcome to next year. I am waiting for this. Next year. September 26th, 2:30 in the afternoon. I'm on a bus, I get a phone call. I've been expecting this phone call. Hi! Oh, this is HR from Bloomingdale's. How you doing? Oh, fine now that I hear from you. Oh, well, I'm so sorry. Listen, this is strictly political, but corporate has somebody they want to play Santa this year, so he's going to be playing it. Bye! Bye. Bye. I am told from my spies at Bloomingdale's that the new guy had no idea why he was even there. Terribly confused, terribly out of place. And on the day of orientation, said in front of everybody, the other Santa, he was so loved, so popular. And Jackie, the supervisor, says, don't worry about it, it was time for him to go.
Oh.
Go. Go. Where do I go? Where do I go? Huh. Santa is magical. You never know where the real one might just pop up. Just the other day, I had given a child a visit, and the mother said, "You're the most incredible Santa, the best Santa I ever saw." And that's because I'm the real one. And they heard him exclaim, ere he rode out of sight, "Merry Christmas to all, and to all. Good night."
Just a little about the weather, all the things, and the bus, the walk, the fire,